ICE is an actual terrorist organization. I do not I do not say this lightly. The definition of terrorism is the intentional act of violence perpetuated upon the civilian population for political, philosophical, or religious reasons. What ICE is doing by assaulting anti ICE protesters in the name of Donald Trump meets this criteria. The pushing, the beating, the sometimes killing and injuring of peaceful anti-ICE protesters meets the grounds for terrorism. In my opinion, there was also a raid that ICE conducted over the weekend, which Rachel Maddow will illustrate for us in this segment, where these guys were armed to the fucking teeth, rappelling off of Black Hawk helicopters and systematically running through an entire apartment complex, arresting, zip tying the residents of this complex, some of whom were children. There were children who were stripped naked and zip tied, all because the fucking landlord called ICE on his tenants. That is also a real part of the story as well. We will run through this segment. We will run through additional segments, and then you will see why I am so confident in labeling ICE not just the Gestapo, which I have in the past, but again, a terrorist organization.
Ahead of the expected arrival of federalized National Guard troops in Chicago, just plain federal agents in Chicago, from ICE, from CBP, from the FBI, from other agencies, they've been treating the city like it's Fallujah 2004 or something. This is from the Chicago Sun-Times. Quote, armed federal agents in military fatigues busted down their doors overnight, pulling men, women, and children from their apartments in Chicago, some of them naked, residents and witnesses said. Agents approached or entered nearly every apartment in this 5-story building. U.S. citizens were among those detained for hours. The next day, toys, shoes, and food were still in piles in the building's hallways. Property managers were seen throwing mattresses and broken doors into dumpsters. Neighbors said federal agents used flashbang grenades to burst through the building, and several drones and helicopters were deployed. One woman who lives across the street said it looked like hundreds of agents were outside her door. She said she saw agents dragging residents, including kids, out of the building without any clothes on and into U-Haul vans. Kids were separated from their mothers.
This tracks with another incident that, of course, an ICE agent did, where they used a gentleman's 5-year-old daughter as a fucking pawn to lure this man out so they could arrest him. Mind you, none of these people have done anything illegal as far as we know. But even still, even if one person had a fucking jaywalking ticket or a speeding ticket, the military style operations that ICE are conducting is just so gross. It's repugnant. It's reprehensible. It's unconstitutional. It's fucking illegal as well. The video that I was referencing, no, it wasn't posted by a bystander. It wasn't posted by someone who lived across the street. No, it was posted by the fucking Department of Homeland Security's official account. It is fascist theater that these ghouls are participating in. Unfortunately, however, it extends far beyond the optics of the situation because they are causing real harm and real terror in these communities by kidnapping innocent people. I say this every time we talk about this fucking subject, man. They're using the handful of criminal immigrants to cast dragnets upon the entire population. There is simply no way for ICE to meet Donald Trump's quota if they were to only arrest criminal, undocumented immigrants. It just can't happen. You're looking at upwards of 1,000 migrants arrested per month. Donald Trump wants to deport 10 to 15 million undocumented immigrants. That is a fucking sizable amount of the undocumented population. and you think that all of these individuals are fucking criminals? They're elderly people, they're teenagers, they're toddlers. There's no way that you're able to rationally believe this propaganda.
From the Associated Press, agents used unmarked trucks and a helicopter to surround this 5-story apartment building in Chicago. News Nation, which was invited to observe the operation, reported that agents, quote, repelled from Black Hawk helicopters. Agents then went door to door, woke up residents, and used zip ties to restrain them.
Did they have warrants? These fucking bugs, dude. Holy shit. Did they have warrants? Was there probable cause? No, because ICE never has warrants because they're fucking Nazis. And 2, no probable cause either, except when you're a racist dipshit who's masquerading as an ICE agent. The only probable cause you need is for this person's last name to be Martinez or Ramos. Jesus, man. And again, this was an entire apartment complex. This was hundreds of people, most likely, dozens of people at least, who were subjected to this inhumane treatment. This is real Nazi Germany, Gestapo style shit. The parallels are uncanny. The only difference is that the Gestapo now speaks English and not German.
Again, keep in mind, this is before the military gets there. This is just what Trump's federal agents are doing in Chicago. Calling in the Black Hawk helicopters to raid a residential apartment building. And then zip tying all the kids and the old people and breaking down all the doors and ransacking all the apartments. I mean, this is what they're doing to the American people in Chicago already before they send in federal troops. This is just federal agents. Trump is trying to deploy federalized National Guard to Chicago against the wishes of the mayor and the governor. Again, we're going to talk with Governor Pritzker about the lawsuit that he's brought to try to stop that deployment when we speak with him in just a moment. Another lawsuit has been brought by a group of journalists and Chicago residents to try to stop federal agents in Chicago from infringing on people's rights to protest and on journalists' right to report on protests. As part of that lawsuit, the plaintiffs included some video exhibits about how federal agents have been behaving in Chicago already. Again, before troops even get there. I want to show you 2 of those video exhibits that have been filed as part of this lawsuit. I'm going to show you 2 of them that depict attacks by Trump's federal agents on a priest, on a minister.
Before we get into these clips and the other clips that I'm going to show you after this, you have to think about the rationale. Why does ICE act like this? They act like this because they have been emboldened and allowed to act like this. The ICE agents, when they are faced with anti-ICE protesters, they immediately resort to violence. Much like how every law enforcement agency resorts to violence when presented with peaceful protesters. The only reason that a peaceful protest is no longer peaceful is because of the agitation by law enforcement, because they show up with fucking riot gear. They're pepper spraying people. They're deploying tear gas. They're shooting rubber bullets. You cannot meet peace with violence and expect the peace to continue. You're fucking 12 if you think that. You're fucking 12 if you think that, oh, I'm a police officer, so someone can't hit me after I hit them. If I assault somebody as a police officer, I'm free of getting assaulted because I'm a police officer. That's a fucking 12-year-old's style of thinking. At no point should a law enforcement official ever put their hands on somebody, even if they get attacked first. If you're a fucking police officer or an ICE agent and someone attacks you, maybe then you can handcuff them. Maybe then you can zip tie them. But to just approach a group of people who are expressing their First Amendment right and start throwing tear gas at them is ridiculous. It is dystopian.
Here's the first one. This is just about 20 seconds. Watch.
They're also such fucking tremendous pussies, man. These guys, these clowns, these fucking pigs are in full riot gear with weaponry on them. And they are so fucking scared of a priest that they shove him and then pepper spray him. Look at these fucking clowns, man. These people deserve to go to prison. Straight up. Every ICE agent that engages in behavior like this deserves to go to prison. You have a fucking firearm on you. You have a firearm on you. And you're pressed because somebody is getting up in your face and making you uncomfortable. There are claims that, oh, we're ICE agents, we're getting doxxed because people are posting our names online. First of all, you're a fucking public servant. You're an employee of the government. There's a reason why police officers have badge numbers. There's a reason why police officers have name tags that say whatever their last name is. It's because, as an employee of the government, you are responsible to the community that you're serving, to the American citizen. When someone asks a police officer, what is your badge number? They're supposed to comply with that. ICE agents, however, are they're allowed to just behave however the fuck they want. They can be plainclothes. They can drive around in unmarked vehicles. They can wear masks. They can wear glasses. They don't have to have warrants. They don't have to have badge numbers. They don't have to have IDs or anything. If you're going to these lengths, if they are going to these lengths, what makes you as an observer believe that they're the good guys? They are hiding. They are working to hide every aspect of their life and every aspect of their employment. If you're going to these lengths, you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. And that is without the footage of you abusing innocent bystanders who are exercising their First Amendment right.
Them spray the minister in the face with chemical spray of some kind. He falls to his knees. In this next exhibit from the lawsuit, you will see Trump's agents shoot the minister with some kind of less than lethal munition. They shoot him in the head. This is about 15 seconds long. You'll see the minister praying. He's standing alone. At the beginning of the tape here, he's standing, praying with his hands raised. Watch.
Look at these fucking losers shooting somebody from the top of a building. Grade A certified pussy behavior, bitch-made behavior from these ICE agents. Watch. On top of a goddamn building. They shoot this guy and hit him in the head. Rachel Maddow says non-lethal. We don't know what kind of non-lethal round, but this guy could have fucking died. This guy could have died. We don't know what they're shooting at. You don't know what would have happened if he had gotten knocked out and hit his head on the curb. He could have had a hemorrhage. He could have had brain damage. He could have had internal bleeding. Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Wake up. If you're seeing shit like this and don't recognize how inhumane and how brutal and how just... I don't know if I have an adjective for it that is beyond inhumane and brutal. What's funny about this is the conservatives, if the roles were reversed and it was two innocent people, right? And it was one innocent person, or one non-ICE agent, I should say, doing this to another person, they would be advocating for the fucking death penalty for the person who pulled that trigger. But now they're okay with it. And it's because they're fucking racist. They want all of these Latino and Hispanic individuals the fuck out of the country. That's the only way that you can justify this level of mass deportation. It's the same reason why Hitler and the Nazis carried out similar operations against Jewish people because they were homophobic, holy shit, against Jewish people because they were anti-Semitic, against gay people because they were homophobic. ICE is doing this because the Trump administration is full of virulent racists, full of rabid white supremacists like Donald Trump, like Stephen Miller, and like Tom Homan. They see footage like this, and they don't see anything wrong with it for some reason. We're going to look at additional footage. The first of Jesse Fuentes, who is an older person in Chicago, I believe a representative of the 26th ward. Do not quote me on that. Jesse Fuentes was, as the tweet reads here, ICE arrested Chicago alderman Jesse Fuentes inside a hospital emergency room simply for asking them to show a warrant for a man they detained. This is classic ICE behavior. They don't ever get warrants because they're fucking stupid. You cannot arrest somebody without a warrant. You cannot search somebody's house without a warrant. How do you get a warrant? You present your case to a judge, and the judge signs off on it because of the alleged probable cause. The feds do this. Local law enforcement does this, not all of the time, but still more than ICE does it. The reason ICE doesn't get their warrants is because any judge would look at these cases and be like, no, I'm not giving you a fucking warrant so you can arrest someone's abuela and send her back to Honduras just, again, because her last name is fucking Ramos. It's ridiculous. And then look at how they respond when met with someone who asks them the simplest fucking question.
No. He has constitutional rights. Do you have a sign?
No, you need to leave.
For me.
Turn around. You're turn around and leave.
He is under.
I'm gonna arrest you. Do not leave.
You are going to be placed.
He had, wait, hold on. Look at, man, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Learn your
He
laws.
has constitutional
No.
rights.
He has constitutional rights. No. No. Okay. So you know who else doesn't have constitutional rights? Hopefully this motherfucker, when he realizes that he's a fucking demon and speaks out against the Trump administration after he has a change of heart and realizes that he's an inhumane freak, and then Donald Trump is going to take him and throw him in fucking jail too for dissenting. This is how it works, guys. It starts with undocumented immigrants, but it doesn't end there. This is fascism 101. Open up a fucking history book. It starts with the perceived undesirables, and the perceived undesirables, of course, are in the eyes of the party that is in power. And then dipshits like this walk around in their fucking plain clothes and his fat fucking friend behind him messed up because he is also a fucking pussy, and they just blatantly disregard the Constitution. They disregard the rights that people have.
No.
He has constitutional
No.
rights. Do you have a sign?
No, you need to leave.
For me.
Turn around. You're turn around and leave.
He is under.
I'm gonna
he is
arrest you.
under
Do
arrest.
not leave.
You are going to be placed under arrest.
Do you have a sign? You need to warrant for him.
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me, please?
This is illegal. This is unconstitutional. This man should lose his fucking job and go to jail. This man needs to be sued for everything that he fucking owns, for everything that they are willing to extract from this Nazi organization. His response to being asked a reasonable question, do you have a warrant, is to detain the individual asking him the question.
Warrant for him.
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me? This is an older person who's being under arrest. I need my other staffer who's in the hallway by registration to come here, please.
You are hurting. I am asking. I am not.
Can somebody get my staffer, please?
This is a hospital. Do you have a sign for this? A warrant for him. I am asking. I am asking. I did not touch you.
I told you to leave.
I did not touch you.
We told you to leave. You're disturbing the peace. You're hurting my feelings. We asked you to leave, and you didn't say no. Oh, I'm a big, strong ICE agent who had to go to the emergency room to arrest a potentially undocumented migrant. Oh my God, we asked you to leave and you didn't, so I'm gonna detain you because I'm a little fucking pussy.
I did not touch you. I did not touch you. I asked you if you had a
Is
sign
Lisa still out there?
warrant for him. It is very simple. It is very simple. That man has constitutional rights. I did not touch you. It is a public space. I am not trespassing. I am asking you. Do you have a signed judicial warrant? I am asking. Do you have a signed judicial warrant for him? It is a question, sir. You are an agent. You are a federal agent.
We do not need a
You are a
warrant for
federal
somebody.
agent. I am an elected
Yes,
official.
you
I'm
do. Oh my God, man. The heart disease has spread to this man's brain. We do not need a warrant to arrest somebody. Yes, the fuck you do. What do you mean? What the fuck? That's how the law works. You need a warrant to arrest somebody. It's called I have a warrant for your arrest. It's not just the police walking up to your fucking door and saying, "Oh yeah, you're arrested now." By the way, they don't DM you on fucking Twitter. You need a warrant to arrest somebody. Oh God, these fucking people, they just like they're scum. They're scum. They're scumbags, man. Like, abolish ICE was the appropriate opinion back in 2020. At the least, you don't need ICE because it's a redundant agency. Customs and Border Patrol already exists. But ICE was established just as as another terror arm of the United States government. Here we have another clip of ICE. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Outside the Portland ICE facility, a man and a woman were standing and talking to a pair of cops with shields when one of them draws his pepper spray and unloads it into her face. She was still crying out. She was still crying out in pain for several minutes and had to be taken away. Look at these losers, dude. In full riot gear. Standing in front of them is a woman who appears to be 5'3" tall. And her friend, who is also about 5'3" tall. They are armed with a megaphone and some pink knee-high Converse. And these pussies, who again are in full riot gear and likely have some sort of weapon on them, feel so threatened that they have to pepper spray this woman. Wait, what did she say? What she said, what did she say? Are you fucking stupid? Real.
Who is talking to you? No. Hey, this is the line that they created.
Oh, this guy. Oh, it's Napoleon Bonaparte who pepper sprayed her because he's mad that he's also 5'3" and that his wife got the house, the kids, and the dog in the divorce.
Oh shit.
Mind you, this fucking Neanderthal isn't even a part of the original confrontation.
No. Hey, this is the line that they created.
Oh shit.
When shit like this happens as well, and we've seen this start to play out in Chicago, the local police departments also begin to get fucking fed up with ICE because they're making their jobs that much harder. The police have to solve crime in this area, right? ICE comes to these areas and fucks up virtually everything by causing a panic within the local population. There's tension. They're on edge. They're anxious. They're not going to want to deal with any sort of law enforcement official. Even J.B. Pritzker acknowledged this. He acknowledged that the Chicago Police Department, their work is being interfered with by ICE. This is the last one here. This was a particularly violent episode because again, these big hulking men feel the need to beat up on individuals who are smaller than them because they have no other way to validate their masculinity, and also probably taking out the anger. They're also taking out the anger that they have from their divorce and their resentment. So this was outside of this was technically inside of an immigration court in New York City. This was at least this was in New York City, I think. Yeah. There was another instance that happened in September where there was a Hispanic woman who was shoved to the ground, assaulted, and detained by an ICE officer. This officer, however, wound up losing his job. So there was some modicum of justice delivered, but that is not the norm. So they are taking away these they're taking away somebody after an immigration court hearing. Now, mind you, at least I think so. I don't even know. Let's see. What is the I don't even know the specifics of this. I probably should have, but they were saying that they were taking someone away, but there clearly isn't anyone who they apprehended, but even still, you're not allowed to go to immigration court and wait for these people to get out of their hearings. There have been many documented instances of an immigration judge clearing an individual of whatever charge they were facing, saying that they're not guilty and that they're free to go, and they just fucking walk right into an ICE agent, and the ICE agent says, I'm actually smarter than this judge. So all of, like, these fucking two out of shape dipshits funnel into this elevator, and then, like, they get mad that this guy gets in the elevator with them for some reason. Oh, of course, the fucking video cut out. That's great. The video is choppy because my computer is a piece of shit.
Get out the elevator.
Get out the fucking elevator. Get out the fucking elevator. Shut the fuck up, man. You're all disgusting. You're all disgusting, slimy individuals who deserve to rot in prison for being a member of the fucking Gestapo. These are innocent bystanders. These are journalists who are well within their rights to be where they're at. It even says down here, there's a quote from one of them. There's a quote from one of them that says, when ICE tells us not to go somewhere, we don't go somewhere. Quote, here we go. If they tell us to get out, to not cross a certain line, we follow their orders. In this case, it was not clear to anyone that this was a detention at all, because they're just bloodthirsty, violent freaks. They have no interest in justice. They have no interest in abiding by the procedures of the legal system. ICE, exists to create terror within the communities that they police. It's so sickening. It's so disgusting that it's been even allowed to reach this point. Man, I gotta be careful about what I say. I've already insulted these precious ICE agents enough. I hurt their feelings. They're gonna sneak into my house, steal my passport, and then claim that I'm undocumented. And then they'll be able to fucking arrest me and send me to CCOT. What's additionally crazy about this, and again is unprecedented for this specific reason, is that all of these instances are documented as they happen. There is no shortage of evidence to the Nazi-like tendencies of ICE. When this shit was going on in Nazi Germany, very much like how we say this when describing the genocide in Gaza, it's live streamed. There is a constant stream of information, of videos, of footage showing what the Gestapo is doing. That didn't happen in 1935. There was a plausible deniability there. Nowadays, the administration and Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, Donald Trump, Tom Homan, they see all this and they're like, yeah, no, we're doing this by default. And it's particularly dangerous because all of the people involved in Donald Trump's administration are actively championing these procedures and these protocols. The treatment of migrants has always been very inhumane, and this is throughout the history of the United States, at least throughout the modern history of the United States. But there were at least people within all of these administrations who tried to keep a semblance of humanity, I would say, right? We'll take Joe Biden, for instance. For all of the millions of people that Joe Biden deported, for all of the families that he separated, for all of the inhumane conditions that he allowed to persist at the border, he had the CBP-1 app developed, right? We'll use that as an example. An app that allowed people to book their immigration hearings in advance to hopefully expedite the process. It is a very, very small band-aid on a massive systemic wound. Donald Trump said, fuck the CBP-1 app, fuck all of Latin America. We are going to treat these people like fucking dogs simply because we do not like the way that they look. I don't know if these ICE agents will ever face justice. I hope they do. I hope that at a certain point in the not too distant future, we have a Nuremberg trials, something similar to the Nuremberg trials for all of the people who orchestrated, aided, and abetted these operations. That includes not only Kristi Noem and Donald Trump, but all of the ICE agents, all of the individuals working in different field offices and shit. Maybe even some of the media members who, again, aided and abetted these atrocities, who voiced their full-throated support for these atrocities, and more importantly, obfuscated the truth. We have prominent conservative media members who continue to perpetuate the lie that immigrants are thugs, they're gangsters, they're rapists, they're pedophiles, they're murderers, when that is simply not the case. 99.99% of undocumented migrants and of immigrants as a whole are law-abiding citizens. Remember, you are more likely to get crimed by a natural-born U.S. citizen than by an undocumented immigrant. That is the reality. It is a flimsy justification for Donald Trump's inhumane treatment of migrants.